Major problems in northern Texas. Salmonella outbreak gets worse. And a pneumonia outbreak in Ohio. Let's discuss. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano. We have a lot to rant about tonight. We are drinking Black Rifle coffee. It's my first time ever having this coffee. It's pretty good. It is very strong. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee together, have coffee with us, or whatever beverage you deem necessary, this will be a lengthy discussion. We have a lot to talk about. So apparently northern Texas, and I am reading from the record, Recorded Future News here. North Texas water utility serving 2 million hit with cyber attack. Now this covers 13 different cities. It's a big one. And they have over 850 employees. North Texas Municipal Water District provides wholesale water, wastewater, and solid waste management services to more than 13 cities in the state, including Plano and Frisco. Alex Johnson, Director of Communications, told Recorded Future News that they recently detected a cyber attack affecting their business computer network. Now he goes on to say most of our business network has been restored. Our core water, wastewater, and solid waste services to our member cities and customers have not been impacted by this incident, and we will continue to provide those services as usual. Now their phone lines, different things like that seem like they have been affected, and it may take a while for that to come back up. Also, apparently there was something that happened with Pennsylvania Water Authority. There was an incident, and this was one day after the attack on a Pennsylvania Water Authority supply was hit with a cyberware attack that reportedly prompted workers to take equipment offline and use backup tools to maintain water pressure. Oh, guys, I'll tell you what, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. These things are happening more often than we would like or at all. I just wanted to mention this at the start here because we have a lot of viewers from Texas. You know, we have probably thousands of viewers that are in Texas right now. So I hope this isn't affecting you. Hopefully they're able to get this back online. It sounds like some of it is. Hopefully they're able to get it all up and running here within, as fast as possible. I don't know. These things just happen constantly. And it's, if anything, it's we're going to have to train ourselves. We're going to have to take everybody that, there's a lot of courses, a lot of younger generation that are focusing on cybersecurity and stuff like this, so hopefully we have some geniuses that are working on this to try and counter these kind of attacks in the future, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, and we have to watch for everything. That's why we always talk about being prepared on the channel. Our thoughts and prayers go out to anybody that's ever involved in these, but it's always a good idea. This is a good example of why it's always a good idea to have a little bit of a stockpile of water, right? For any kind of reason. If the power ever goes out, something like this happens, things get shut down, things go offline, always a good idea to have some backup water, right? Now, I know you can still go to the stores and get water at this point, but if you're within those 13 cities, I can imagine right now it was probably pretty crazy getting to there, probably out of water. It's like Florida when you try to get water a couple days before a hurricane, you're not going to find any. So it's always good to be a little extra prepared when you can be. So anyway, terrible situation, and whatever it is, it seems like it's ongoing, and I'm sure they'll get it fixed as soon as possible. The next thing I want to talk about tonight is something I've been getting a lot of comments to talk about. Wasn't sure if I was going to or not, but yes, I feel like we need to after doing a little bit of research. This is from our local news network, Channel 19, if you're familiar, from Cincinnati, you're familiar. So apparently there's a big outbreak of this pneumonia. Okay, now some people are kind of toning it down some. It's getting a lot of talk because it's affecting, I think, more than usual. They say that it's not being related to the Chinese pneumonia outbreak. So I don't know. I know they're calling it like the white lung, and that kind of got my attention. And it seems to be like it's affecting a lot of children. And this is in Warren County where the outbreak was, so just north of us here. I mean, it's kind of scary. We can't take these things lightly. We can't take them lightly. But anyway, wanted to go over some of this stuff in case you haven't heard. So Channel 19 goes on to say more children are getting sick with pneumonia in Warren County as cases continue to rise. According to the health department officials, Health Commissioner Dwayne Stansberry and Dr. Clint Koenig are calling this an outbreak after 142 juveniles have been diagnosed with the respiratory disease since August. Quote, "We do not think this is a novel or new respiratory disease, but rather a large uptick in the number of pneumonia cases normally seen at one time," both of them said in a press release. The Warren County Health Department says cases span across multiple school districts as officials continue to investigate the source and case. However, they have not been able to narrow it down. Yeah. They go on to say, quote, "Our school districts have called in starting roughly in August, but really picking up in mid to late October. And we've been noticing a lot of cases of kids being absent and the resulting diagnosis being pneumonia," Dr. Koenig explained. Quote, "So we realize that there may be something here, and we realize this does meet the definition of an outbreak." Let's see. Reports indicate the average age in these cases is 8 years old, and the most common symptoms are cough, fever, and fatigue. I feel like that's everything these days. I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's just, guys, it's just one thing after another, but got a lot of comments from you guys for me to kind of go over some of these things, so I was kind of looking through different sites. This is one that I trust, and this is Channel 19. They've always been good at covering a lot of different stories around the city and the tri-state, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. Quote, Dr. Koenig says, "I think parents need to know that if their child is exhibiting symptoms, including shortness of breath, rapid breathing, significant coughing, where they're unable to catch their breath, they need to reach out to their pediatrician or their provider to have the child evaluated." Well, of course. I mean, that's the same in everything. Like if my child or your child, if anything like this is going on, I don't care what it is, get them to the doctor. 3 pathogens have been recovered thus far in their research: Mycoplasma pneumonia, basically strep pneumonia, and adenovirus. Okay. The Warren County Health Department says they are working with the Ohio Health Department and hospitals to determine the cause. As we approach, quote, "As we approach the holiday season, when many of us will be gathering together with family and friends, please remember to take necessary precautions to protect your health. Wash your hands, cover your cough, stay home when ill, and stay up to date on vaccines." And that is it for that. I just wanted to go over what was going on. Apparently, there are cases of this in other states, which I'm not going to go over because nothing sounds solid yet. But as far as this being what is going on in China, it doesn't sound like it's the same one, but we really don't know. So I don't know. I'm sure we will find out more as we go along. Now we need to talk about something that is potentially not good. Not good. This salmonella thing in the cantaloupe. Right now, they're saying any sliced cantaloupe, any prepared cantaloupe, do not buy. They're also saying do not eat any fruit cups that have cantaloupe in them. They don't give any kind of. I'll click on the FDA's website here. Wait a minute. This is an old one right here, but this has just been updated. Here we go. It's Washington Post. I'm not a huge fan of them, but we'll go over it anyway. Pre-cut cantaloupes linked to severe salmonella outbreak, CDC says. It's all coming from the CDC. Um, Public is being warned not to consume pre-cut cantaloupes, including those in fruit cups, if it's not clear whether Malachita or Rudy brand cantaloupes were used, U.S. health officials said Thursday after more than 100 salmonella cases cropped up across the country. So, we did go over this last week, and there were 52 cases with 1 death. Now, there's 117 cases with 2 deaths. So it is spreading, and I gotta say, if it was me, which we don't, and if I did, I would just throw it out. But if you have anything with cantaloupe, don't mess with it. Just throw it away. I don't even, they'll probably give you your money back without even having to take it to the store. I would just explain what's going on. I'm sure most stores probably already know this, and if they don't, they should. But yeah, it's crazy, guys. I'll tell you what, it really is. And this is spreading over 34 states now. It was 32 states. Canada has reported 63 illnesses, apparently, 17 hospitalizations, and 1 death linked to the fruit. Guys, yeah, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's getting too big. It's getting too big. Throw your cantaloupe away. I pre-cut, uncut. Get rid of it. It's, and salmonella is spread through like touch, right? It's spread through like different things. So, boy, I don't know. Wash your fruit, right? More than ever. Make sure you're washing everything. Wash everything. Make sure everything is clean. But I'll tell you what, this is scary stuff, guys. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. These things are happening more and more often. We're getting so many different recalls on everything. We got a couple comments. I haven't even had time to look it up yet. I may add it into our next weekly recall list. But I mean, we have protein bars, I guess. I haven't even looked it up yet. Few of our viewers were talking about protein bars, some kind of recall. So you may want to look up on the FTC website for that. I'm not going to cover that today. I may go over that. But there have been so many different recalls here. This is just ridiculous. And it's happening at an alarming rate. Cyberware attacks, these are getting out of hand. With Pennsylvania and Texas. I didn't even know about the Pennsylvania one, and so I started reading about the article of the Texas one. I mean, it's crazy. These things are happening on a daily basis. We need to make sure that we are stocking up on things that we can afford within our budget. I know we talk about this a lot on the channel, but you know what? The more we get into all this, the more and more we need to make sure that we're prepared in case our water does shut off for a significant amount of time, or if the power goes out for a significant amount of time. We need to go over these things. I am kind of jotting and plotting another list of different kind of preparedness items, that we're going to maybe go over next week. I don't know yet. I'm trying to take a lot of things that a lot of our viewers have been talking about in the comments and kind of going over some of those. I've been focusing a lot on trying to get more and more of our in-store videos for you guys because prices have been going up on virtually everything. It's like every day I'm walking into a different place and I'm noticing 10 to 20 more toward the 20 item list of prices going up again. Buy up the sales as you see them. Make sure you are taking advantage of some of the deals as we find them. I would say get some of these holiday deals, but boy, it doesn't seem like there really are any right now. We saw some really good deals right before Thanksgiving, and then we're just seeing stuff go really back up in price. So we want to make sure we're stocking up on some of these things. I would not be stocking up on fruit cups. I'll tell you what, I mean, it's things like this makes you a little nervous to buy any produce. I mean, it wasn't long ago we were having recalls on the different frozen fruit. With the strawberries from even Trader Joe's was part of this. Costco was part of this. Now this was months ago. It's still not in effect, so don't think it is. But we had issues with Great Value a while back, and that's where all those have passed. It does make you a little nervous to go out and buy these things. It really does. I mean, I know we have a lot of viewers on our channel that grow their own food. I think that's awesome. You better believe I will be doing more of that myself whenever we can afford to get a house, because the housing market is through the roof, quite literally. It's ridiculous. I keep looking up different prices, and prices keep going up. I see houses that are selling for a certain amount, and then the next week they sell for an extra $70,000, $80,000. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. We're just going to stay where we are. We're just going to make sure. And, me and Jessica have kind of been talking about some of these different things. Like, we love cantaloupe. We're not eating it right now. Maybe not for a long time, because this is really spreading out, guys. 34 states, no joke. The fact that this wasn't tackled a little more ahead of time, and with the whole pneumonia thing, I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't know if we really have enough facts to really kind of gather an opinion on that yet. Now, I know some people on the channel were saying that all the pneumonia over there has come over here. It could, but I don't. They're in the fumbling stage here. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. We don't know. We know that people are getting sick from it. They're getting a type of pneumonia, which they are calling the white lung. Is that what they always call pneumonia? I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely an issue, something we have to pay attention to. Make sure you're paying, if you have children, make sure you're paying attention to, what's going on in their schools. 142 people over the last couple months. That seems like quite a bit. But if that's another thing too, is it the same pneumonia strain? Like, I don't feel like there's been enough research yet to get that kind of determination. Just be careful. Again, with anything. I mean, I know they say wash your hands, and I think that's kind of common sense with everything's always washing your hands. But isn't pneumonia like, I wash my hands. It doesn't matter if I sneeze this direction. I don't know. I don't really have any opinion on that, but I wanted to address that because a lot of people were asking me to talk about it tonight. But guys, again, I'll tell you, the one thing that I would fear if, with the whole Texas thing, Texas don't mess around. Texas don't mess around. And the fact that it seems like they're more on top of it than what some others would be, maybe. I don't know. This is kind of it's not new, but it's a different kind of attack. It's like the silent attack where you just don't know where it's coming from. Hopefully they do. And I'll tell you what, you don't mess with Texas. You don't. I've heard, you've read stories over the years, friends, family, they don't mess around. They don't mess around. And I'd just be careful, of some of these things because, like I said, they don't mess around, and I would just leave it at that. But, yeah, whirlwind of events, guys. Whirlwind of events that just seem to keep happening. And I'll tell you, my thoughts and prayers are with everybody that's affected. And we just have to get through it. We'll get through this stuff. We'll get through it together. I don't really... Sorry, I'm kind of looking at some of this cantaloupe thing, and it's like, there's so many different articles of this cantaloupe thing. It's even bigger than I think the numbers are saying here. I would be very careful, any fruit cups or anything like that. They don't give any dates, because they probably don't know yet. So I don't know. I would throw it away. I know it's a waste of money and you hate to waste, but just throw it away. Don't even touch it. And then clean your fridge. That's another thing somebody was talking about the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying, with these kind of things, you also want to make sure that you clean your counters anywhere where the cantaloupe has been, or anything for that matter. In the fridge, you want to clean your fridge out. Use plastic gloves. Make sure you... some kind of cleaner that's going to kill the bacteria. But it's no joke, guys. It's no joke. Cantaloupe, throw it away. Throw it away. Like I said, don't even take it back to the store. Maybe call the store and maybe they'll give you a credit or something like that. But I would just throw it in the trash. Why risk taking it from one place to the other? It's obviously something that's not in a sealed container. Even if it is, you don't want to take the risk of bringing that back in here. Yeah, okay, so I was kind of scrolling down here. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced the first cantaloupe recall in this outbreak was on November 9th. And the fact that that's when it happened and now it's getting worse, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. That's the end of the article here. Anyway, I will not bore you anymore with this stuff, guys. Important information we had to get out here today. Thank you for joining us with the coffee rants. Let's take a sip of coffee together. That Black Rifle coffee is very strong. Very strong. I do like it. I'll probably like it better in the morning because now I feel like I'm not going to be able to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. I can drink a cup of coffee, fall right asleep. Ooh, a lot of stuff to rant about, guys. Things happening every day. Every day. It's crazy. All of these recalls are getting ridiculous. It's just recall after recall after recall. Now we've got this pneumonia thing that we got to kind of figure out. I would say be careful, just be cautious, and make sure that, if you don't feel well, yeah, stay home. I mean, that's kind of always been the thing. If you don't feel good, stay home so you're not getting other people sick. I mean, we learned that in elementary school. But anyway, and yes, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Texas right now and Pennsylvania with these things going on. It's just crazy, guys. Like every day, that's why we do this, so that we can try and help keep you in the know with everything going on. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.